Bitfocus Companion is awesome. It lets you control all of your different devices for free from one single place. But if you've ever wanted to spread out from that place, you may have actually tried to install different instances of Companion, only to realize that that's super annoying because you have to keep them all in sync. Well, Bitfocus makes another piece of software called Companion Satellite. This allows you to install that on the computer, and instead of running its own instance of Companion that you have to set up and configure, it connects back to your main one on the same network, and then essentially just acts as an extension and gives you all the same buttons you've already configured. Sometimes though, we don't want a whole computer set up there, either because of cost, or because we actually just want it to be super portable, or maybe we even want to put it in the wall. Yes, that is possible. It's actually super convenient to install Companion Satellite on a Raspberry Pi. So a Raspberry Pi is a small single board computer. These days they usually run about $50, but it kind of fluctuates. You can't do much with this. I mean, you're not going to play any super advanced games or anything like that. But if you have one single purpose that you need a computer for, Raspberry Pi is a great solution. And Companion Satellite is one of the greatest options for that, because you could take this and a Stream Deck and have Companion anywhere in your building. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually get that set up and running, so that way you can have Companion wherever you need it. For this, I'm going to be using the Raspberry Pi 3B, but you don't have to use this one. Companion Satellite is really light, and you can actually run it on everything from the Pi Zero all the way up to their fanciest ones. So get whatever makes the most sense for you. So first off, we're going to jump into Companion site here, and we're going to go to Companion Satellite, and we're going to download this Linux image. So we'll go ahead and click to download that, and that download will get started. While that's downloading, we'll talk about the next thing you need, and that's going to be some sort of way to actually take this image and flash it onto a micro SD card. Now, the size of the card isn't that important. There's not going to be that much storage, but just get whatever you need for that. You might even have one laying around already. Doesn't really matter, just make sure you have one. It's going to be your hard drive for your Raspberry Pi. But we need a way to actually take that image, which is essentially the whole installation, and put it onto that SD card. So there's a couple tools you can use for this. You can use something called Balena Etcher, which is definitely super popular in the Raspberry Pi community, or you can even use the Raspberry Pi Imager. This one's super fun because if you need to use your Pi for something else, this has a bunch of images kind of built in that you can flash automatically. We don't really need that today, but those are kind of two options. For the sake of today's demo, I'm going to be using Balena Etcher because that's just what I have. Let's take your micro SD card and plug it into your computer. Next, we've got Balena Etcher open. We're going to say flash from file, and we're going to pick that image that we just downloaded. We're going to select the target, which is going to be that 32 gig micro SD card that I just plugged in. We'll select it and we'll hit flash. So what this is going to do is it's going to erase everything that's on that card, and instead it's going to install the Bitfocus Companion Satellite image. And you can think of this as kind of an operating system and a program all combined into one. Once it's on there and we plug it in here, as soon as this turns on, it's going to boot up and be running Companion Satellite and not much else. That's what's super cool about Raspberry Pis is you can load all sorts of custom images directly to it. And so then this little computer runs one very specific thing. And usually it does it as soon as it boots up. So these are super convenient, and I definitely recommend Googling all sorts of other things you can do with Raspberry Pis in your ministry. I actually have a video where we run our lobby screens off of Raspberry Pis. It's super cool. Check it out if you're interested. That's about done flashing now, so let's go ahead and get that. All right, so let's take out that SD card and plug it into our Raspberry Pi. Again, this is going to essentially act as a companion instance remotely. So something we're going to need is a Stream Deck. Awesome. So we'll take this USB cable and we'll plug it directly into the Pi. Again, depending on the model you have, you might need a dongle or something, but this one has USB ports built into it. So we've got the Pi and we've got the Stream Deck. Next up, we're going to need power and we're going to need a network. And this is where it can kind of differ depending on your particular setup. If you're going to be running this off of Ethernet, all we need to do is actually plug this into the network and get it powered, and this will boot up ready to go. But if you're going to be using Wi-Fi, we need to do a little bit of extra configuration. So I am going to show you how to do that. And finally, if you're using a Pi that can take PoE, power over Ethernet, you actually don't need a power cable at all. Instead, you just plug it into your network and it will power your Pi directly from that. That's definitely the easiest way to set this up because it means it's one cable plus then your Stream Deck. But depending on your setup, that may not work or it may not make sense. So we're not gonna be showing how to do that today. Instead, I've got a power cable over here that I'm gonna plug in, and then we're gonna go from there. So there is a little bit of a process in order to get this connected up to Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. You're going to need a monitor, and you're going to need a keyboard. Preferably one with a USB cable so that we don't have to deal with Bluetooth or anything like that. So we're going to plug the keyboard into our Raspberry Pi, and the same with our monitor, the HDMI port into our Raspberry Pi. We need to plug the power into our Raspberry Pi. So let's go ahead and do that. I know this is getting a little bit spaghetti cables right now, but this is just a one-time setup that we have to do in order to connect it to Wi-Fi. So as you can see, it's starting to boot up over here on the screen, and this is just it going through some initialization. Don't let these words scare you. You don't need to know anything about it. Now that we're into this screen, we just need to do a little bit of setup with our keyboard. So we're going to say, yes, we're in English. The UK is fine. Sure, we'll rename Pi, but I'm actually just going to rename it anyway and set a password. If you want to be secure about this, go for it. Personally, I don't care. Nobody's going to be connecting to this, but in your church, you probably should set an actual password. Great. Now we're going to log in with that username and password that we just set. Now, don't let this scare you. We're on the command line, but we're only going to type one line. It's going to be sudo raspi-config, essentially Raspberry Pi config. Now we're in this menu. We need to select one for system options, wireless LAN. Now we need to select the country. Scroll all the way down. United States. Now, SSID. So this is the actual name of your network. Mine is Googly Wi-Fi's. And now you're going to enter your password. And hit enter. At this point, it's going to attempt connecting to the network. And I also forgot to show you, when this booted up, our Stream Deck actually started showing a little bit of a logo here and then showing that it's trying to connect. If this had been plugged into our network directly with a CAT cable, this would have just worked right off the bat and we would have seen some buttons. So now we're going to just assume that we are connected to the network. And so we're going to hit finish. At this point, you should actually see on your Stream Deck the IP address change as it has been assigned an IP address on your actual network. This is a good way to tell that you're actually connected to the internet at this point. So now that that's done, we actually don't need our keyboard or our monitor anymore. So we're just gonna put those away. So now at this point, I have my Raspberry Pi plugged into power and then plugged it into my Stream Deck. So I'm going to hop back over into my computer, and now we need to actually make sure we can connect to this Pi. So on the Stream Deck, you will actually see this IP address. And so you can navigate to that IP address with :9999, which is the port. And at this point, you should be able to connect to it and see, great, companion satellite, this is running. So now we're going to go into our companion dashboard, then we're gonna go to Surfaces, Discover, and look, here's our satellite Pi. We can see the address here. We go ahead and hit setup and we can see, great, all of this stuff is here. And as soon as I did that, over here on the Stream Deck, I actually got all of my buttons from page one. And so now if we go into configured, we actually see it right here. All of a sudden, it basically just acts as another Stream Deck that we have here. So we can go to settings and we can change the startup page and all sorts of settings that you can normally change on any Surface. So we have a Raspberry Pi, we have a Stream Deck, we have power, and that's it. This can control everything in Companion, just like it could if it was plugged directly into the computer that was running it. Except now, all I need is a single power cable and then this. This is so handy for so many use cases. I mean, truly, just more operator stations in your tech booth if you need it, but you don't have any extra computers. Or you could use stuff like, hey, if somebody in your band has a TalkBack mic and you want to be able to set it up so that they can route that TalkBack to specific people, you can set up a page in Companion to be able to change all of those routing and give them this tiny little setup on a music stand or something, and they can control exactly who they're talking to anytime. Or you can use a product like Orbit Panels to actually put this setup in a wall panel, running it off of PoE. And so you can actually have essentially a smart wall panel where people can come in and control lights, control audio, control whatever it is they need to in the room, just with the push of a few buttons in Companion, without having to know anything about your setup. This is a super easy way to set up Companion Satellite without having to have a whole fancy, expensive computer. Raspberry Pi does everything you need. As always, I'm gonna have all the products that I use linked down in the description. Those are gonna be Amazon affiliate links, so if you buy from it, I get a small little kickback. So go ahead and click that link, go shopping, get yourself a Raspberry Pi. Hope you guys found this helpful, and let me know down in the comments if you're using Companion Satellite, and especially if you're using it on a Pi, and what kind of things you're using it for versus just a normal setup. I'd love to know just so I can learn and maybe pick up a few tips and tricks. Until next time.